On September 14th, we have the new moon in Leo. You see the new moon is happening in Leo at about 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Sun and moon come together in Leo. This is going to be great because we've had two lunar cycles based on the sign of Cancer. It's called Adhika Masa, which means that this extra month of new moons happening in the sign of Cancer, which is a sign of feelings, emotion, sort of passivity and waiting for things to happen, sort of waiting to kind of feel our way through what's next. And, you know, in the midst of that, we've had a bunch of retrograde planets. We still have Mercury retrograde, but he's about to move forward. There's a lot of energy about to move forward, even though you might be hearing so much these days in the astrology community that there's all these retrogrades, particularly because outer planets are also retrograde. But actually, notice how it's going to feel like a lot of the retrogrades have stopped because Venus is no longer retrograde and Mercury is about to turn direct. RahuKetu.net to attend the Rahu and Pisces Ketu in Virgo free web class. We're going to have this shift of Rahu going through Pisces and Ketu through Virgo. It'll be from November 29th, 2023 until the end of May of 2025. And I'm going to talk about what it means for your sign, the house axis from your chart, for the world based on past transits. So are you ready for that? What's going to happen? And again, as you can see here, I analyze the nodes, what they are, Rahu in Pisces, Ketu in Virgo. You see we have big eclipses coming up with this nodal axis, October 14th, 2023, and then also April 8th next year, and even further into 2025. So again, this is a great opportunity for you to really learn what this transit means. So go ahead and register RahuKetu.net. And we have the new moon in Leo, folks. This is according to Sidereal Zodiac, which is the actual sky, not the zodiac that's extrapolated based on the calendar and based on the vernal equinox, which is not connected to the sky at all. This is actually the constellation of Leo. So when you hold your astronomy app up to the sky to see where the sun and moon are, it's going to be in the sign of Leo, not in Virgo. So again, this is very good news for moving forward with a lot of energy and renewed enthusiasm and purpose and, personal empowerment. So again, it's been a couple months of sort of feeling like we're not so much in our personal empowerment, but again, in our kind of intuition and feeling our way through and all the feels and the feelies and the blah, blah, So, okay, enough of that. We've had enough, a couple months of it. Let's do something now, huh? Let's be enthusiastic about what we're, about who we are, what we're going to do. We've been reflecting enough. Let's get out there and do something. And so this sun in Leo and this new moon in Uttara phalguni Nakshatra in the sign of Leo is very much about new beginnings, new empowerment on a personal level. Again, Leo is the sign that's ruled by the sun, and it's literally the sign of the king who has dominion over a certain kingdom. And even though you might not consider yourself as a king or as a sovereign, as a king or a queen, you do have power over a certain aspect and in fact over your life and over your world. How much are you acting like you're empowered? Are you feeling empowered, or is everything just how you feel all the time and you're not doing the things that empower you? So now is a time of this cycle of personal empowerment, enthusiasm, and not just, waiting for things to feel good before you do something. So again, the sign of Leo is where we do have power over a certain aspect of our life. And in fact, again, as I said, over all aspects. But are we acting as if we're the one in charge? So everything in your life is a result of your actions and who you think you are and what you think is possible for you relative to those things. So again, with this new moon happening now, after 2 months, after 2 lunar cycles of Cancer with Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, and just kind of feeling our way through things. Now it's really time to sort of hit the ground running into a new cycle. And this, this new cycle of personal empowerment, like I say, and really not just believing that you can do something, but now really putting it into practice. And the nakshatra of Uttara phalguni is where the new moon happens. And Uttara phalguni is the nakshatra that's ruled by the god Aryaman. Aryaman is the one who creates good alliances. It's called the marriage star. It comes after Purva phalguni. Purva phalguni is ruled by the god of delight and passion and desire, where we get interested in dating, and like if you want to look at it in a worldly sense, it's literally about desire and beauty, and that includes dating and having fun. But then Uttara phalguni, the fun is over and we get married. No, I'm just kidding. But it is where we're not just motivated to have fun, but we're motivated to now make it official, make it formal, make a commitment, because it's the nakshatra that is in between Leo and Virgo. So that bridge between Leo and Virgo is shown by Uttara phalguni nakshatra, where we take that power of the kingdom and that power that we delight, really delighting in the power and enjoying the power we have, which is Purva phalguni. Then we make it official and formal and make a commitment to something like a business alliance, a romantic alliance, marriage kind of thing, and turn it into something that is a structure in our life. Like a kingdom needs to be efficiently run, well thought out, well conceived, or let's say even like a business, right? Leo would be like the business and the power, and then Virgo, the next sign, would be all of the structure in the business. You need to have, let's say in this modern age, like website and this and that or something. But even in your life in general, you have a certain amount of power, but you also have to have your, quote, life together, like you have to pay your bills, you got to handle and manage all these details. And if you can handle and manage all those details, then the power becomes a very strong, solid foundation. If you can't, then you can lose all the power. So this is a very important aspect to ponder with this new moon in Leo, is where it's not only the time to feel empowered, but to take that power and really manage it and organize it, and not take for granted the things in your life that are beautiful, that are working, that you want to make a deeper commitment to. It might even be things like a relationship or a connection that maybe you enjoy, but you want to maybe take it deeper, or you're willing to take a chance and go deeper into it because it's something that has really benefited you. And this could be a big thing because, again, over the summer, there was a lot of, again, sort of feeling our way through things, and particularly as it relates to things like relationships and interactions with other people. Cancer is very much, again, where we're just kind of in the heart, and we're not really full of desire and things like that. We want to connect, but it's more of a kind of longing. Again, Leo is about, okay, now let's do something. And it might be that you've been kind of longing and swirling around in your head in this sort of Cancer vibe for quite a while, and you realize, hey, there are some things there that I want to make a commitment to, not just that personally, inspires me and motivates me, which is Leo, but I want to form alliances. I want to, turn it into something that's more official and formal. This god Aryaman, who is the ruler of Uttara phalguni, is often paired with the god Mitra, who is the god of friendship. Because in order to have a good agreement and in order to make good agreements, both people have to benefit, right? That's what a good agreement is. Like if you might say, oh, I want to get married, but you want the marriage to be all about you and not the other person, maybe you'll like it, but they won't like it, and the marriage isn't going to last very long. So this is also a big part of the cycle that's related to Uttara phalguni, that it's not just about you getting what you want so you feel powerful, but that the other person does too, and that's what a good agreement is. Because hopefully in Purva phalguni, that quality of Purva Phalguni isn't just that you get to enjoy the power of being the king, but that your power comes from seeing that everyone enjoys it. Everyone can enjoy it, and you want to share that power, right? And then you take that even further. It's like, okay, I really love sharing my power, let's say like with this person, and now let's make it official and really make a commitment to it and then build upon it, like with a family or even something like that, if you want to look at it in a mundane sense. But so this is a big important shift. We also have Jupiter aspecting here. Even though Jupiter's retrograde, he's still aspecting this new moon in Leo, right? And so again, this Jupiter aspect is very inspiring, particularly as it relates to things like teachings and connecting with higher wisdom, teachers, gurus, teachings, and putting them into practice, particularly as Mercury is now going to start moving forward again. Enough reflecting on these things. Let's put it into action. Venus is also moving forward and whatnot. Saturn is also aspecting. It's a little bit of a wide orb. You know, the new moon is past the orb, but Saturn is still also aspecting the whole sign of Leo, so there's a lot of capacity to want to commit and concentrate and, get the most out of this time and not waste the time. So anyway, I hope you have a great new moon in Leo cycle. This next 30 days is very much about personal empowerment, stepping up, and stepping outside your comfort zone into that thing that you say you want. We all imagine, what it would be like if we just had the confidence to do the thing that we imagine. Again, people always get readings with me, and so much of it is about career. What do you think I should do? And blah, blah, blah. People act like they don't know what they should do. You know what you want to do, but you don't have the courage to do it. You're afraid of risking feeling embarrassed or looking foolish or making a mistake or getting outside your comfort zone. So that's what this Leo time is about. So ponder those things. It's not an abstraction. We think everything, all these words might inspire you. Oh, it was great to hear Sam, he talked about this. Yeah. And then we don't do anything. What it's doing is it's challenging you to do something different, like get outside your comfort zone. Get outside of that thing. And some of that even requires not really rebelling against other people in your life, but when you want to step into something bigger, many times those around you, even if they're well-meaning because they don't want to see you go off and do some crazy thing, they're like, well, be careful here. And we meet with the disapproval of many around us who want to keep us in this kind of smaller vision. Again, it's not their fault, and it shouldn't be your concern. Your concern should not be what those around you have to say. Again, the Leo part is where the king is the king, and the king can only worry so much about what everybody says. When he has to do the king's work, he has to do it. And again, it depends on whether or not he's really aligned with his true vision and intelligence or not. If he's just aligned with his ego, then he might just be motivated to try to prop himself up and look good. But when he's really connected to what's good for the kingdom and what's good for the world and his true nature, then he realizes that everybody else doesn't see what he sees. He has the vision within himself, and he's like, I understand why people are saying this, but that can't be what compels me to action. I'm compelled to act because of all of this righteous power and joy that I'm embodying. And that's going to be my sort of guiding star, my sort of North Star. And again, the Jupiter aspect also really supports that as well. So I hope this was helpful for you. Share this with others, and thanks for watching. Go to yourtruenaturevideos.com to get the Live Your True Nature 4-part video series. The first is called Your True Self, Your Cosmic Self, where we talk about the Atman, the Jiva Atman that comes down into the 9 planets of Lord Vishnu, how we incarnate. Then we look at our egoistic struggles in video 3, where we try to return back to the path home, the joyful and wise path home, in video 4. So again, yourtruenaturevideos.com. It's time to know yourself, not just believe in yourself.